Hey Dan, we're trying to do this in one take, so I don't have to edit it. But I've got, I guess, a response to your public video from yesterday, day before yesterday, as well as your cupcake video. First of all, regards to Kate. I don't know how long you did not indicate how long she was staying, or how long she had been there. So anyway, Kate, if you're watching this, hello. Hopefully you're enjoying Pendleton. Enough said, I guess. Time your videos, Dan. You know what you can do? Get a watch like this one, or just a regular watch, and look at it and figure out how long you've been talking into the camera. It's amazing. It works so well so that when you're at the 5-minute mark, you don't think you're at 15 minutes and cut the video off. Because I like to listen to you, even when you're talking about the episiotomy of love, or whatever it was, that video that you made. Sleeping next to your dreads, I did severely chastise my staff member for that comment, which had provided ammunition to your wife. Though I'm surprised that, well, never mind. I'll save that one for the private video. Next topic. I received from my friend Randy a DVD. Well, really, it was just DVD in terms of its capacity. That had, oh gosh, it must have had like over 200 punk songs on it, from bands like, of course, the Ramones, the Clash, the Horror Pops. If you ever heard of the Horror Pops, they're on YouTube. And they're more like psychobilly. The Buzzcocks, which I really like. Actually, I like the Horror Pops too. And a bunch of other bands. Dead Kennedys, of course, and several others. But I've been listening to a lot of 70s punk at work, and I'm loving it. I've been listening to a lot of Ramones. I mean, I think the Ramones are hilarious. So, you know, the KKK Took My Baby Away. Of course, one of their better-known hits, right next to Teenage Lobotomy. I Want to Be Sedated, Pet Cemetery, Rock and Roll High School, of course, Rockaway Beach, blah, 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 blah. But anyway, on a more serious note, actually the Ramones, you know, of course, are considered to be one of the first punk bands with a huge influence, even though they didn't really have a commercial success. They have this huge influence on the punk movement. But what's interesting is when you listen to a lot of their music, you can hear the influence the Beach Boys had on them, because they have a very, you know, California surf sound to them in some of their songs. It's great. So anyway, it's a good. I like the Ramones a lot. More melodic than, say, Suicidal Tendencies. But you know, there's nothing worse than a middle-aged professional white guy trying to dissect punk music. That's sad, and I'm going to stop it. If you hear me say the word postmodern and punk, you may come and hold my head underwater until I drown. You have my permission. So, none of that. But anyway, so yeah, I've just been really loving the music, and then I started listening to the GoGos, and I love the GoGos. I mean, I loved them then, especially before Belinda Carlisle lost all that weight and became emaciated. Liked it. You know, I've been watching some of the old videos, and you know, but the GoGos were really the first girl band to play their own instruments and write their own songs. And you know, I'm not saying that the songs were, you know, deeply poetic, but you know, they did it, and they were successful. Actually, their first album went double platinum. So I just think it's cool, and it's a good role model for Colleen, from my opinion. Red Grammar at camp. That's cool. Again, with the conflict. Marshall, did you hear that Red Grammar's coming to Sheltering Branch?
Right.
He just said, it's like the Frankenstein monster in Young Frankenstein.
What?
Oh! So anyway, Red Grammar at camp. There's still that conflict, of course, with GRSF and the Shakespeare Festival and how busy we're going to be, and that's right during that period. So likely not. But I'm going to come back to that. But I was thinking about that. I was thinking about Red Grammar being at camp, and the fact that it's kind of like having a superstar at camp. It kind of throws the balance off, don't you think? It's like Red Grammar is like the Eddie Van Halen, and the Eddie Van Halen and the Diamond Dave of the Baha'i faith. You know what I'm saying? Hold on a second. Beth? Yeah? Can you go down and deal with that? And so I got to thinking about what would it be like if Eddie Van Halen came to Sheltering Branch, or if Eddie Van Halen were a Baha'i. I mean, what would those songs have been like? So I came up with some alternative titles. Hot for Wooten, I think it would have been like the #1 hit. Jump, you might as well jump on into Sheltering Branch. And then, of course, probably the all-time, #1 on the charts would have been Running with the Hakukala. That's what I think it would have been like. So, in terms of schedules, I would love for you to come out during GRSF. I'd love for you to see, just the whole, and go to plays, sell some brats with me. You can meet Rubio and we can talk bad Spanish. I think it'd be cool. So work on that. And I really think that probably the best bet for me to come out there would be during that August-September range when that 5-mile swim is in Crater Lake. I told you about that, right? There's a 5-mile, it's not a race, it's more like a community swim in Crater Lake. And I just think that would be exceedingly cool. So I want to come out and do that. So let me know more about your schedule, and we'll work on it. So let's see. You talked about the video for the song by the. Did you say Mountain Goats or Mounting Goats? Because when I googled Mounting Goats, I'm not sure that's the images that I was supposed to be getting. It made me uncomfortable. But I thought about the Mountain Goats, and weren't they the ones that, with that big hit, Anyone Seen My Oysters? Was that the Mountain Goats? Maybe that was a different band. Anyway, I did watch the Hast Thou Considered the Tetrapod video, and I actually even went and looked at the lyrics. And actually, I think you've made a reference to that before, because I've watched that video and listened to those lyrics. Please not here. Before, and I got to thinking, of course, as I am wont to do, that you've got these guys in the Mountain Goats sitting around, and they've got this rockin' song. It's a good song, good lyrics, meaningful, but not, more poetic. You've got this nice metaphor going, good imagery, and they're sitting there and they're saying to each other, God, this song is really awesome. The lyrics are good, the music is good, it goes well with it. We've got this great song. I think we could really have a hit with this. And then the other guy comes in and says, gosh, I'm kind of uncomfortable with all that success we might have with this song, and so what should we do about that? And the other guy says, well, I guess we should give it a really stupid title, like, hey, I know, Hast Thou Considered the Tetrapod? I mean, hast, little Shakespeare English, and then tetrapod. That would be great because it'll completely throw people off. They'll get so hung up on the title and they won't understand what it means, and they won't even listen to us. It'll be perfect, and then we'll be able to keep this great music just to ourselves. So, I mean, hast thou considered the tetrapod? Honestly, anyway, what do I know, right? So, auto-tune the news. Haven't listened to it yet. I haven't gone and have not had ample opportunity to look this stuff up. So, plus, anything that you refer to as postmodern, I don't know. Do I really want to do that? Give me the suicidal tendencies. Oh, they're so postmodern. I want to deconstruct them. You can drown me now. By the way, I love the length of your dreads when they're down. I never imagined. How long have you been married? 20 years? 20 years ago that you were ever going to have longer hair than I. And you do. And I just think that's exceedingly cool. So don't cut the dreads. I like them. In fact, I was thinking more about your dreads and about the fact that what they allow you to do is more easily minister to the youth. And minister, and when I say that, I don't mean necessarily in a religious context. What I mean is, however you want to. What was that? However you want to interpret that. So, but I really think that helps with that. So I don't know, ministering to the youth or being a city supervisor. So that's, I think, all I had on my list. Oh, the cupcakes. I've got just enough battery left, I think, to talk about the cupcakes. Your cupcake video was awesome. I actually showed it to several of my staff today and made them go back and watch your video because you were like giddy with excitement, and it was just so cool that I had to show it around because it was like it made our day better. Watching you get all giddy about the cupcakes, and it was perfect. I mean, there was one point when you were eating and you started moaning. I was a little uncomfortable. It was like I was, like the third wheel at a conjugal visit. You know what I mean? Anyway, that could bring up all kinds of funny things, but I'm probably not going to go there. So, good on you. Well done. I'm glad you liked them. And I'm still dead.